Yes?
I get the feeling that DC is kind of ripping off of Marvel with the whole cinematic universe thing.
Yeah, I mean, their upcoming slate feels really reactive to what Marvel's doing, so I can see your point.
Yeah.
But then again, you know, Marvel ripped off DC first, the whole characters and the comic books, you know.
Wait, what?
You're kidding, right?
No. What are you talking about?
Dude, come on! I mean, the creator of Deadpool admitted that he ripped off Deathstroke. I mean, not to mention, Thanos is a ripoff of Darkseid, Quicksilver's a ripoff of Flash, Vision's a ripoff of Red Tornado, Hawkeye, Green Arrow, they seem very similar.
Alright. I get it. Alright, I'm sorry I asked.
And seriously, I love the X-Men and everything, but the Doom Patrol totally got...
Hey everyone, I'm Nate Fischer.
I'm Dennis Stack.
And welcome to another episode of Cinema Buffs. Today is the big one. Captain America, Civil War. Obviously a lot of hype around this movie. Like you said, the biggest movie of the year, quite possibly. And this was my number one on my most anticipated films.
Yeah, and just warning, I mean, this is a spoiler-free review. After we give you our score, however, if you've seen the movie, stick around because we are going to be talking spoilers and specific plot points and things with characters and, you know, but we don't want to give anything away to the people who haven't seen the movie yet.
So right now you're in the clear.
Yeah, but we will put up a warning.
Yes, absolutely. So before we get started with the full review, we thought we'd touch base on the previous Captain America movies, and we differ a little bit, especially with the first one, don't we?
Right, yeah. I'm not a fan of the first one. I found it to be, like, a little boring, and I realize it's the same director of The Rocketeer, but I felt like it was a little too...
Rocketeer-y?
Yeah, a little too much. But the second one, Winter Soldier, great. That movie really knocked my socks off. I wasn't expecting it at all. I mean, especially after the way the first one went for me personally.
You didn't see Winter Soldier in the theater.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, and then you saw it and you were like,
I wish I would have seen it in the theater. Yep, sure. That was one of those movies.
Well, I disagree with you on the first Avenger. Captain America immediately became my favorite of the Avengers because of Captain America First Avenger. I loved the setting. I loved the 1940s. I thought Red Skull was really underrated as a villain. I thought Hugo Weaving did a great job. Very menacing. And then Winter Soldier came out and I was like even more blown away.
Right.
I like these stories because they're so personal. That's what I like about these origin stories. They're the most personal. I know all of them are personally showcasing who they are, but this one I felt like really resided personally with the character itself. So that's how we feel basically about the previous movies.
But this one, I mean,
let's get into it.
This is loaded with characters, you know, just old characters from other movies, brand new characters, brand new actors coming in. So let's talk about the characters and like the plot that, you know, unfolded, how they all played a role in it.
Right, and not to get into any details or anything like that. The plot, to me, what I said about the previous Captain Americas was how personal they were, and this one I felt lacked in that area that I love so much about the Captain America series. This is a packed, loaded, almost a little bit for me bloated movie of characters.
Yeah.
But then again, you look at a lot of movies that have way too many characters in them, and they're like, why did they do that? This one pulls it off as best as you possibly could.
Yeah, I agree. Each character, they have their moment in the movie, and they play a part into the plot.
They're all useful.
Right. But I do get the feeling that it is just stuffed a little too much. And as far as what you're saying about the personal feeling, I think that like only for like the first half hour, 45 minutes, this really is a Captain America movie because then it just seems to go full blown Avengers. I mean, it has everybody from Age of Ultron except Thor and Hulk. But then you add in, you know, Black Panther and
Ant-Man.
Spider-Man and Ant-Man and the Winter Soldier. I mean, it's got more than the Avengers Age of Ultron.
So, obviously, the biggest addition, everyone knows about this from the final trailer that they showed and everything like that, is Spider-Man. Let's talk about Spider-Man a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, personally, you might have seen the opening skit, I'm more of a DC-heavy character guy. Like, Batman's my favorite comic book character ever. But the close second coming in is Spider-Man. But I think that they really pulled it off, and playing him into the story, like, once again, you know, they added in this character, but they made him flow into the story real nice.
Yeah.
And I like the portrayal. I mean, walking out of this, that was what I'm most excited about, is the upcoming Spider-Man solo flick. I think it was the best portrayal of both Peter Parker and Spider-Man. I think that before, like, Tobey Maguire made a good Peter Parker because he's got that nerdy kind of, personality and characteristics to him.
Which is what I thought they failed with in The Amazing Spider-Man. He was like picking fights with stopping fights, and he was a confident character. And I'm like,
he's
Peter
Andrew Garfield. He's a good-looking guy, and he gets the hottest girl in the school by being a bumbling idiot, just like that. He doesn't struggle with anything as Peter Parker in the Amazing Spider-Man series.
Yeah.
So I feel that this was a good portrayal of both Peter Parker and Spider-Man.
Sure. Let's talk about some more. I mean, just like we said, it's pretty bloated.
Yeah.
They balanced it out as best as they could. I thought Ant-Man was great. That was as much Ant-Man as I needed in there, I guess.
Yeah, I mean...
He seemed a little shoehorned with the comic relief.
Right.
They all have comic relief.
Yeah, I mean, I love Paul Rudd and everything, but I just wasn't that big a fan of Ant-Man last year. I thought it was okay, nothing special. I'm shocked to see that it's getting a sequel. It's like, I don't know where else you can take it with just him. So I think that an Ant-Man sequel would probably be similar to this, where they throw in a bunch of the other Avengers.
Really? I hope with Ant-Man they go small like they did before. What I liked about Ant-Man is it was small.
Right, and...
no pun intended.
But yeah, and looking ahead to where the MCU is going, I would like it if they scaled down, because I think that this movie had all these great moments.
Yeah.
Where it was like I wanted to see more of, like, once the Winter Soldier and Falcon started hanging out with Cap, like I would love to see like a movie.
Those relations, the trio going along,
like
they
the
don't like
banter between them. Yeah, they didn't seem to really like each other too much. I'd love it if they made a movie where like Captain America disappears and the two of them have to go find him.
That would be a good idea.
Like a smaller movie like that.
Yeah. Let's talk about the plot. Did you think that it was... I mean, what did you think of the plot, honestly? I thought that, again, with the Captain America series, I love the plots. I think they're so clever and cool, and beyond a superhero movie, you can take it as something different. And this one was obviously a full-blown superhero movie.
Yeah.
Did you feel like the plot just facilitated the need for them to fight?
Yeah, I really do. And I think the plot is definitely weaker than that of Winter Soldier.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what I loved about Winter Soldier the best, was it had a great plot. You know, it was a spy thriller. It wasn't really a superhero movie.
Yeah.
And so this just goes into like full-blown, like at the airport scene where they finally do fight each other. It's awesome. It's like, it's like you're playing with your toys in your head again. Just
tons of action.
Right.
Once you got that feeling of... The feeling I loved in The Avengers, the first one when I watched it, was watching these characters work together. Being like, oh, he's grabbing the shield and throwing it at him, he's catching it, they're jumping around off of that guy. Like, a lot of that's going on in the airport scene. I really enjoyed that. And the opening scene as well. All the action, to me, was, once again, not to compare to Batman vs. Superman, but like, I was waiting for that fight. And then the fight happened, I was like, that's it? That's the fight? But this one, I was like, this fight's sweet. I'm having a blast. It's long and well choreographed and well directed. So all the action I felt like was as high as you can get when it comes to action scenes.
Exactly. Yeah, and then just like Batman v Superman, just because it's the next installment, I think you have to automatically compare this to Winter Soldier as well.
Right.
And I will say that I think that Winter Soldier had the better story, but this one was far more entertaining as far as the spectacle of it all.
Buffs. You want to score it?
Yeah, let's go ahead and put a number on. Why don't you go ahead first?
I would rather you go first.
Okay, all right. Well, as you mentioned, this is a Marvel movie, and I might when our Batman v Superman review, you mentioned you might be getting a little tired out with the comic books. I might be a little tired out with the MCU, but this movie, I can't deny how entertaining this movie was and how fun it was.
Yeah.
So, having said all that, I'm going to go ahead and give this an 8 out of 10.
8. Okay. So, I'm going to do a little precursor to my score as well. Obviously, he's Team Iron Man, I'm Team Captain America. But I have to say that, like, Team Iron Man was a cooler team. And on top of that, I felt like Iron Man was more justified than Captain America. Personally, I'm not switching teams. I like Captain America more than Iron Man. Because I think Iron Man's kind of a dumb. Captain America's, like, a good guy. But... I'm gonna give it.
I like a good, but it's gonna come out. So.
But I'm gonna split a little bit here. I've never done a point something, but I'm gonna go 7.5.
Oh really? Wow!
I know.
I can't believe I'm scoring a Marvel movie higher than you.
I'm kind of surprised at myself, but I'm just gonna. I couldn't give it an 8, and I just don't want to give it a 7 either. I just have to go right between the two. So
all right.
7.5 is what I'm giving it.
Buffs. All right, so there you have it. That's our review of Captain America: Civil War. What'd you guys think of the movie? Did you like it? Did you think it was better than Winter Soldier? Worse than? Why don't you leave your comments down below and be sure to like, share, and subscribe.
That's right. So we've gone into the spoiler-free review. Now it's time to get into some hardcore spoilers.
Buffs.
Hey, so if you want to watch the full spoiler review, just check out the link in the notes below. Click that, and you can watch me and Dennis just nerd out about Captain America Civil War, and you can get into all the nitty-gritty details. Thanks again for watching, and remember, there's no place like the theater.